Carlos.
What's up, my man? Alright, so we're here to talk about music?
Yeah, man, I'm glad we did that jam, bro.
I'm honored and grateful to do that with you. That was beautiful. Hopefully we'll do some more jams.
Yeah, in the future, definitely. So. It's funny because when I was working on the rhythm, I kept thinking about you.
What?
I swear, that's why I contacted you.
That's what's up.
Like right now, I'm working on something, I'm thinking about this female vocalist. And I have to contact her. Every time I listen to it, it's like keeping, and that's the same thing happened with this jam.
Okay.
And I was like, I reached out, I was like, yo, you down?
That's what's up.
And I'm glad that you like that one. I think that was the first one I sent you, right?
Yeah, that was the first one.
I'm glad because I was really, that's the one that every time I played it, every time I worked on it, you kept popping in my head.
That's what's up. I remember when I first came back to New York like 6 years ago, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He was like, yo, you got to work with Antonio Ocasio. I was like, oh, what? For real? Okay, cool. I forgot the guy's name, but I hit him up. Like when we started working on the jam, I said, yo, I'm working on a cut with Antonio, so he's happy.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good.
And it's cool, man. I mean, it's not something that I'm used to.
Right.
You know, there's very few collaborations throughout the years. And now I'm starting to...
Yeah. So now that I got you here and we're recording, now I'm going to put you on the spot. What got you into house music? How did all that start for you?
I've been into it since I was a kid, really. It started off with... even like in the early 70s, even before, like with Mandrill and say all of that kind of like, it just kind of like just kept moving.
Mandrill's my shit, by the way.
I love Mandrill. Mandrill, Santana. Santana is like my favorite musician, and I was into him when I was a kid, and you hear his songs, like house, really. It's like, you know, just organic rhythms, but everything kept transitioning. You know, I was into rap, hip-hop, living in the Bronx. And then disco came out, and I was doing the hustle, and then from the hustle, I was doing all of that. Then I went to the loft, and I forgot about everything.
Wow.
I didn't want to do the hustle anymore. Freedom, you know?
Yep.
But, it was just, you know, the music, you know, it just transitioned, and I remember as a kid, man, like some of the earlier stuff that we was into, like Universal City, Can You Get Down? Ooh. I mean, if you think about it, listening to that when you're 15 years old.
That's crazy. Man, I started DJing early too. So back in 82, I started DJing in a club. And back then there wasn't like house, hip hop. It was everything.
Yeah.
I was playing merengue, salsa, all of that. And so I never even thought about it. You know, I was like playing pop music, dance music, hip hop, salsa. And then I got really, really into hip hop.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I met Ocha and he's like, yo, you got to come to Miami. He brought me to the music conference. I was like, oh, this music's dope. And then it just started snowballing from there.
Yeah. Like for me, I gravitate towards more like the music where people actually creating music with musicians. You know? Because that's how I grew up. I grew up with the Earth, Wind and Fire, the Eddie Palmieri. Like these were master musicians, and they would make masterpieces, you know.
Right.
So, and still to today, is like I still like that sound. You know what I mean?
I agree. That's why I gravitate to the things you do, the things Joaquin does, Louis. It's like, yo, it's got the organic, the Latin, and the house.
The Afro is all mixed.
Mixed, exactly.
It's all mixed.
That always gets my heart. Like I'll listen to everything, play everything, but I always go back to that vibe.
I love it, man.
So tell me about. I just became the interviewer. Tell me about some of your favorite. Who are your favorite salsa bands? I'm just curious.
Salsa. I mean,
did you listen to a lot of salsa?
Yeah, but like the classic salsa is like Eddie Palmieri's number one. Okay. To me, he's like my second favorite musician after Santana. And listen to all the class, you know, Ruben Blades, Hector Lavoe, all of those from the 70s. And that's the music, honestly, that is gonna be forever. Because it was quality, man, you know? The stories they were talking about, the music. Yep. It's crazy.
I grew up with some heavy hardcore salsa lovers, and they turned me on to like more obscure things that like the LeBron brothers.
Yeah.
Sonera Ponceña.
They actually, one of them from the Bronx.
Yeah. Ponceña, Típica 73.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff.
I have a lot of that music on vinyl. Típica, I have.
Yeah.
I have a lot of. I don't have like a lot of Latin music, but I have the cream though.
My family's Dominican, so like when I found out that Johnny Pacheco was Dominican,
he's
and he was like orchestrating all that Fania stuff, I was like, he was in
the mix of it all.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite dudes.
He's still alive.
From a production standpoint.
He's still alive, man.
That's a hardcore producer.
And he plays a bad flute, man.
Yep.
I have an old album of his, man. I gotta show you on vinyl from the 60s.
I might have it.
It's called La Flauta something.
I might have that. I'm trying to remember. Is that black and white album cover?
Is it black and white? I think it's like a brownish. But anyway, it's really old and the music, he was ahead of his time, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Ahead of his time. Cool. But yeah, I like instrumental music. So I like a lot of that stuff. Latin jazz, cool jazz, traditional jazz. A lot of it is instrumental. Well, I love instrumental music.
You can tell, like, just from listening to your album, you have a lot of influences.
Yeah.
That music that you like, that's the way I am also. Yeah. Like, I listen to pretty much everything. As long as it's good music.
Yeah. I don't care what it is, where it came from, who's the artist, who's the producer. I don't care about none of that.
Yeah. What about, like, of the new cats that are out, who are you into?
Well, I've been into Manu for a while. And I'm really digging Koflo. Like, what I like about him, I'm listening to his stuff, and for a young dude, like, he's not doing regular music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is really impressive to me. He's not doing regular 4 on the floor. I mean, he can, but if you hear some of his stuff, he just goes all over the place, and that's a gift. It's not easy, man.
Right.
So, that's one of the reasons why I like him, because I grew up, like, in that era where people was experimenting.
Right.
War. Like, if you listen to War, some of their music, it was all a lot. But it was crazy, like, the stuff they were doing with instruments,
right. And it's like that with a lot of those albums from that era. Like, there's a song or two that everybody knows that got played in the club. But if you listen to the album, albums are stuff. Like, what? Everywhere.
I remember for a long time, I was playing the album version of the Eddie Grant.
Okay.
And a lot of people thought it was like a remix. No, it's on the album. Everybody was sweating the 12-inch,
Right.
No, listen to the album. Because sometimes the album version is better than the 12-inch. Usually it's the other way around.
Right.
Because you have more time to do more. But in this case, so yeah, man, it's just
Manu and Koflo. That's heavy.
I like them
and I
both.
like both those cats. So that's what's up.
I like them both. They're both doing really good music.
I love both those guys. And then I'm really heavy into what a lot of these young cats in South Africa doing too. So I'm like,
yeah.
Like I tell everybody, I think about what these kids are doing in South Africa. It reminds me of the late 70s up here in the Bronx, where you had these kids that didn't have any money, didn't have equipment, but figured out ways to, like, make music, and they were passionate about it. That's how hip hop started, and that's what I see these cats in South Africa. They don't have a lot of equipment.
Yeah, but they're making it work.
They're hustling, and they're making music, and they're passionate
and
about it.
And they're making some good music too.
And they're knowledgeable. Like, they know the history, and they're, like, really passionate about it. So that excites me to no end.
I remember when I first DJing, that we didn't have mixers. So we used to use, and you talk about being innovative, we used to use the balance. So we used to get 4 speakers and interchange them in the back, with, like, plug them in a certain way that if you go to the left, they're both playing here, and if you go to the right, there's still 2 playing. We didn't have mixes.
Wow.
There was Bozaks and stuff out, but it was in clubs.
I had a Gemini, and I feel spoiled that I had a mixer.
No, and then after that, we graduated to this little Mike Gold mixer that we used to get at Radio Shack. We didn't have mixes. If there was whatever mixes was out, it was in big clubs, and we didn't know about it. It wasn't out commercially. So, we had to get creative.
You know how I started? I learned how to mix.
No queuing. There was no queuing.
Oh, of course not.
So you had to know the record, you know? Yeah.
I learned how to mix on my mom's Victrola. And I used to put a paper sleeve on there so I could manipulate the record.
Yeah.
And then I would turn in between the radio and the phono so that I could hear both.
Yeah,
you get it right, you get the audio to come out both.
Yeah.
So it was like, whether it was like Red Alert, Awesome 2, I would put on the Awesome 2 show. and put it in between and try to like match what they were doing and mix to what they were playing.
There was no special effects. We had to like use a reel to reel. I forgot how we used to hook it up, where we used to play the reel to reel and get a delay at certain parts, you know?
That's what's up.
It's crazy, man.
Now it's all audio.
Yeah, now it's all push button.
Everybody's
And
a DJ now.
yeah, now it's like, it's easy. Technology made it very easy for people to do it, you know?
Right.
It used to be something that was sacred. Not everybody could do it.
Right.
So now it's like, it's different because the technology is good and it's not good.
Well, everybody can play records, but not everybody can DJ.
Nah.
I still like, even though everybody uses that word, I still reserve it for people who are DJs. You know, like can know what it means to be a DJ and like create an atmosphere and create a vibration.
And take chances, you know?
Take chances.
And just be confident, be confident that, you know what? I'm going to play this and y'all going to dig it. Because this is a bad jam.
And sometimes it doesn't work.
And sometimes it doesn't work, and you got to deal with it.
The next record.
You know? I was playing, let me tell you, I was playing King Sunny out there. 365 is my number, the message, for years and years and years. People did not get it. And then one time, I played it at Wepa, and people went nuts. Nuts. I was like, this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I was like, they got it. They got it, you know?
Right. No,
another time I played like this Santana record that's like 140 beats a minute. I played it at a Wepa party and they went nuts, bro. Nuts. And I played it at the speed that it was supposed to be. Dance Sister Dance, I think it was. Like a little edit that these guys did from a long time ago, like 15, 20 years ago. So it's a nice edit. Yo, music, bro. It's medicine. Music is medicine.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I made it up to the Bronx.
Yes.
And, man, you guys missed it, but actually they'll probably get to check it out, this little session that we had with Tony Rosa.
Play some bad congas.
For a remix that I'm doing. So, yeah.
That's I can't wait to hear it. What he did alone is like.
That was crazy, right?
You're going to have fun with that, bro. You're going to have fun working with that. No problem. Let me know.